Welcome back to Question Period. I want to continue that conversation on calls for bail reform here in Canada. The calls became more pronounced following the tragic killing of Ontario Constable Greg Pirshala back in December. 4 of Canada's largest police associations following that killing issued a joint statement pushing for change, writing, quote, "We are saying today what we are sure most Canadians are feeling. Enough is enough." Randall McKenzie, who was charged with first-degree murder in Pirshala's fatal shooting, was out on bail and had a lifetime ban from owning a firearm. OPP Commissioner Thomas Carrique joins me now. Hi, Commissioner Carrique. Good to have you on our program. Thank you for making the time.
My pleasure. Thank you.
The subject of bail reform, or addressing what happened in December to Constable Greg Pirshala, is very predominant on the Hill, in the House of Commons rather, and on Parliament Hill over the past number of weeks, and specifically actually this past week. I wanted to try and cut through some of that with you because when the constable was killed, you said you were outraged and you did want to see some changes as a result. Could you describe for Canadians listening today what those changes could or should look like?
Absolutely. Those changes should include a more weight being given when an offender is a repeat violent offender with a pattern of non-compliance for interim release conditions and has shown a propensity towards using firearms in violent offenses. We as police chiefs right across this country are asking for a very narrow scope that deals with the most dangerous of offenders and will ensure the safety and security of police officers and citizens alike.
And would that be different than the way things are right now? Because some have said to me when I posed that question, like those dangerous offenders are already treated in a certain way. The restrictions around them are already pretty severe. How would you counter that? What would you say to that?
Yeah, I would counter that with complete disagreement. There are cases, in the case of Constable Pirshala, where the individual charged with first-degree murder had shown a concerning pattern of non-compliance with previous weapons and firearm-related prohibitions and other court-imposed conditions. He was subsequently charged with violent offenses and still released on a judicial interim conditions for which he did not abide by. We had 587 what I would categorize as repeat violent offenders charged with failing to comply with conditions through 2021 and 22, and 464 of those were charged with further violent offenses, and that's only in OPP police jurisdictions. That does not include all of the other police services right across this province, right across this country.
So let me ask you if you think, and it has been your experience, that Bill C-75, which was originally intended to address a few things, the overcrowding of prisons and also the disproportionate representation for minorities, if you think it has had sort of an effect that differs from what the intent was, because we have seen out in BC, for example, a number of mayors, a number of police forces, the province itself say, basically, there are too many people out when there shouldn't be, as a result, an unintended kind of consequence of Bill C-75. Have you experienced something similar?
I would say that we have experienced something similar. It has been an unintended consequence, and violent offenders are being released into communities, and they are, in some cases, victimizing people within their own communities. This is about the safety and security of innocent Canadians, innocent visitors and residents to our province, and more weight must be given to the pattern of violence, a pattern of non-compliance, a willingness to use weapons and firearms. These things must be given much greater weight in the important decisions that are made regarding bail.
Do you think that necessitates repealing parts of Bill C-75, or could it happen in other ways?
As for how best for it to happen legislatively, that would be best for the lawmakers to comment on. I do believe that they need to critically look at Bill C-75 with a lens of bail reform and putting these things that we as police officers across this nation are saying need to be given greater weight, whether that is amendments to Bill C-75, which is now enacted. There needs to be changes made to legislation. There needs to be changes made to policy, and we need to see decisions being made that put the proper weight on public safety.
You and your force lived through an awful thing when the constable was killed. I'm wondering if you think that politicians are seized with the issue to the degree they should be.
I have been extremely encouraged, and I'm very grateful for the leadership of a number of politicians, starting with Premier Ford, who pulled together and had unanimous support from every premier across this country, who have written to our Prime Minister asking for consideration for bail reform that will make Canada a much safer nation. I think we've got the momentum that is necessary to bring about responsible and meaningful change that will truly have a positive impact on public safety.
If the Prime Minister and his team are watching today, and I'm interviewing the Justice Minister actually on this subject, your message to them, Commissioner?
Change is needed now. Meaningful, responsible change is needed now. The Canadian Association of Chiefs of Police introduced a resolution back in 2008, which is coming on 15 years ago, which had those very practical, straightforward recommendations being given proper consideration and the appropriate legislative reform taken place, we could have prevented almost 15 years of victimization at the hands of some repeat violent offenders. This can't go on. We need leadership, we need meaningful change, and we need to take responsibility for our communities.
Commissioner, I'll leave it there. I do appreciate your time today. Thank you.
Thank you very much.